Hello, dear friends. Those who govern countries believe in the supernatural. Why are they so determined to convince us that it isn't real? Asks A.J. Gentile. Opinion piece. Climax. High point. Bankers' wars. Maximum tension. Reduction of chaos. Culminating moment. The dominoes are falling. 3 or 4 tough months remain. Let's start. The dark forces, which still control information, are losing ground in their struggle to maintain control of the world economy, but they are bringing chaos to its peak, according to Matthew through his mother Susan Watt. No time frames have been set because when a new wave of energy erupts, it can change in the blink of an eye a situation that seems to be developing calmly in the collective consciousness stemming from thoughts and feelings. The current energy of the dark forces has an unstoppable momentum in its downward spiral, and it is estimated that the culmination of this process could be reached in 3 or 4 months. Before then, they will do everything possible to maintain their power. Afterward, everything will with dark intentions will begin to diminish, to reduce. Once set in motion, the current energy must complete its course and cannot be abruptly stopped midway. So the initial stages of the decline of chaos and darkness will not be publicly evident. In the context of planetary history, the region we know today as the Middle East was originally populated by souls of conscious and spiritually evolved civilizations. For millennia, everything flourished in the area. Then came the darkness, and for long periods the region was plunged into the dense energy of oppression, brutality, male domination, and war. They are trying to provoke a global conflict, but they will fail. Far from the public eye, world leaders are planning how to end this war and achieve viable peace treaties. The mission to eradicate all evil will continue until its success is assured. The rising frequencies support the efforts of the White Hats to purify the dense energy in the main areas of conflict during this final stage of the battle between the forces of light and darkness that has been waged since ancient times. Throughout the centuries, the disputed territories and types of weaponry have changed, as have the reasons for going to war. But the cause of all conflicts has been the battle between opposing energies of light and darkness. There is a talk of catastrophic events occurring between now and June in California, New York, Florida, and Texas. This type of misinformation is spread to generate fear, the fear that dark forces need to survive. They are desperate, and it is faster, easier, and cheaper to spread fear this way than to pay individuals to incite riots and violence. Don't believe in dire predictions. When you cannot discern whether information is valid, ask yourself and then clear your thoughts. If the information is true, you will feel a sense of fluidity and lightness in your heart. If it is false, you will feel heaviness and a slight resistance. The heart is the seat of the soul, and the soul knows what is true and what is not. Due to the widespread dissemination of information about chemicals present in food and drinking water, as well as about chemical toxins, their effects depend largely on the degree of fear they generate. Although man-made chemicals are incompatible with the body's chemistry, they do not cause disease in a healthy organism. Members of one of the most advanced civilizations assisting humanity have manifested as cloud formations that sweep the atmosphere and neutralize the most toxic particles. Aerosols from chemtrails, snow, acid rain, and other pollutants are harmful to all life forms, but their little elements have been eliminated. Galactic scientists living among us erased the most influential programming, reducing its effectiveness to a minimum. The constantly increasing vibrations will begin to alleviate or eliminate minor health problems and strengthen or restore the body's and immune system's self-healing abilities. The long-silenced discoveries of Nikola Tesla and Royal Rife regarding the effectiveness of certain frequencies in treating specific ailments are now being utilized. Medical beds are not yet perfected, but work is underway to improve them. None of these technologies cure directly. Their frequency activates the body's self-healing mechanism, and faith is essential. The carbon-based cells of people who have absorbed light are being transformed, forming a crystalline structure immune to disease and organ deterioration. Most of the next generation will inherit this structure and will not be affected by their parents' problems. Alternative natural therapies and substances will replace current practices. We have the power to achieve and maintain optimal physical, mental, and emotional health. The body is energy that vibrates at one frequency or another within a range of frequencies. The state of the body is in harmony with the vibrational frequency, and that frequency is determined by the energy of your thoughts, feelings, actions, and reactions. The key is to fill yourself with light and love. According to Arnold, the Earth will reach the fullness of its golden age, but we won't have to wait long, because along the way we will witness grand and countless changes. All the beings of light in this universe encourage us to move forward and support us with the power of unconditional love. Reset News. The debt clock signals a monumental shift to an asset-backed dollar, according to media greed. The revolution is playing out in plain sight. Representative Tim Burchett says the public would be shocked if they knew what Congress has been told about UFOs. Censorship of free speech, according to Patrick Lewis. Governments are imprisoning citizens for private messages under vague public safety laws. Markets don't crash by chance. It's a controlled demolition of the old financial system. They said it was a war, but it was a transfer. The old world order is being dismantled in real time, according to Axios 4B. They are not fixing the system, they are replacing it. You are not seeing reform, you are seeing a controlled demolition of the financial system that has run the world since 1944. According to Steve Biko, we are heading toward what, for many, will be a world-shattering event. People will have to cross a mental and emotional bridge to abandon one worldview and adopt another. We will reap great benefits from passing through the end of darkness and emerging on the other side later, when we find ourselves in the company of august beings who represent their wealth. Full thoughts summary. What is happening now is truly biblical in the literal sense of the word. Humanity is about to be freed from dark entities. This is unfolding in real time. The important thing is that humanity will no longer be directed by actors reading scripts dictated by controllers. It will choose its own future. However, the unfolding story is far more complex. It's about the collapse of an ancient planetary control network. Swiss private banking is the final layer of opacity in the illicit financing chain. The trail also leads to the Vatican. The Epstein files are a revelation that has allowed law enforcement direct access to the private banking infrastructure. According to Pentagon sources, it would take an army of more than 1.5 million soldiers to take control of Iran, and that's not going to happen. If those in charge of the secret space program don't share their technology, the Chinese will use it to take over the world. Chinese researchers have created a graphene battery that charges in 5 minutes and lasts 4 times longer than lithium batteries. The West should be able to surpass China in innovation again as soon as it ends its control of the financial system. The Dragon family is prepared with unlimited funds for humanity to decide its own future. The Babylonian debt slavery is about to end. Middle East. U.S. chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff dismissed amid Iran war. Iranians have publicly declared, in quotes, "If you attack our schools, we will not attack yours. If you attack our hospitals, we will not attack yours." My gut is hot. "But if you attack our infrastructure, we will attack yours." Iran announces mass mobilization against any possible invasion. Iranian officials claim that nearly 7 million civilians are prepared to take up arms, presenting the conflict not as a traditional war, but as a large-scale popular resistance. According to Sarah, before the war, Iran didn't control the Strait of Hormuz, now it does. Iranian oil was sanctioned, now it is not. Iran was not building nuclear weapons, now it will. The bases in the Gulf were assets, now they are liabilities. Inflation was decreasing, now it is increasing. Economy. Hope in the Hormuz boosts markets. Iran reactivates the Syrian land route to export oil to Europe. Trump proposes a historic defense spending budget and contemplates a 10% cut in other federal programs. When Iran destroys assets in Gulf countries, it destroys the collateral for loans obtained. That could collapse the Western financial system, according to Alex Jones. Europe. The EU is considering fuel rationing. The German economy minister is urging a rethink of nuclear energy in light of rising energy prices and falling growth forecasts. According to Professor Young, the European project has lost its structural justification and has become an administrative body governing a territory that no longer believes in it. The energy collapse is not dramatic. It is a type of slow and persistent poverty that radicalizes populations that had taken prosperity for granted. Americas. Mexico's finance ministry projects growth of up to 2.9% by 2027. Cuba announces the pardon of more than 2,000 prisoners. Cuba begins releasing prisoners under scrutiny from human rights groups. Fish prices are skyrocketing in Argentina. Argentina commemorates 44 years since the Falklands-Malvinas conflict. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.